Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Prashanti. So we are going to start today digestive glands. So all digestive glands in one shot. Okay. So today's class we are going to start. See all of you. So first we are going to start with the mouth glands. Okay, salivary glands. Salivary glands is nothing but which is secreting saliva into the mouth. Okay, saliva into the mouth. First you see the types of salivary glands. So how many types of salivary glands are present? 3 types of salivary glands are present. So what are the 3 types of salivary glands? Parotid gland, submaxillary gland and sublingual glands. Okay, parotid, submaxillary, sublingual. So in some animals, so the animal contain 4 pairs of salivary glands also. That fourth pair is known as infraorbital. Okay, infraorbital salivary glands, infraorbital in animals. So not in the humans, in the animals. Okay, in the animals it contains 4 pairs of salivary glands, but in the humans we contains only 3 pairs of salivary glands. Those 3 pairs of salivary glands are parotid, submaxillary and sublingual. Okay, first we will see the location of parotid glands. Parotid glands is present below the pinna. See, this is the pinna. Below the pinna it contains the glands. Okay, below the pinna means here. Okay, below the pinna it contains the parotid glands. And then submaxillary and sublingual, both are present in the lower jaw. Okay, both are present in the lower jaw. Okay, both are present in the lower jaw. Okay, so one important point here, that is salivary glands are not present in the mouth. సో నార్మల్గా ఏమనుకుంటాం, సెలైవా అంటేనే మౌత్లో ఉంటుంది కదా, సెలవరీ గ్లాండ్స్ కూడా మౌత్లో ఉంటాయి. కానీ కాదు, ఇక్కడ సెలవరీ గ్లాండ్స్ ఆర్ ప్రెజెంట్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ది బకల్ క్యావిటీ. అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ది బకల్ క్యావిటీ, బకల్ క్యావిటీకి చుట్టుపక్కల ఉంటాయి కానీ బకల్ క్యావిటీ లోపల ఉండవు. సో బకల్ క్యావిటీ ఈజ్ నాట్ కంటైనింగ్ ద సెలవరీ గ్లాండ్స్. ఇట్ ఈస్ ప్రెజెంట్ అవుట్ సైడ్ ద బకల్ క్యావిటీ, బట్ ఆల్ ద సెక్రెషన్స్ మీన్స్ saliva is released into the mouth. Saliva is released into the mouth and saliva contains an enzyme is known as salivary amylase, and that salivary amylase is also known as ptyalin. Okay, ptyalin, salivary amylase is also known as ptyalin. Okay, so this ptyalin is useful for the breakdown of the carbohydrates into the simple sugars, carbohydrates like starch molecules into maltose. Okay, so here these are the salivary glands, very simple. 3 pairs of salivary glands, parotid, submaxillary, sublingual. Parotid is present below the pinna, and then submaxillary and sublingual is present. Maxilla means teeth, below the teeth. Okay, it is present below the teeth. Sublingual, so sublingual is nothing but below the tongue, So this both are present in the lower jaw. Okay, this saliva is contains an enzyme is known as salivary amylase, and saliva pH is about 6.8. So what the saliva contains? So saliva contains maximum water and electrolytes. Okay, maximum water and 0.5% electrolytes are present in the saliva. Okay, salivary amylase and ptyalin, and its pH is about 6.8. So that is about the salivary glands. So we completed this portion. So if you want to take screenshot, take why, because I am erasing this, take the screenshot all of you. Next one we will see the gastric glands. So gastric glands means it is present in the stomach. Okay, so gastric glands are nothing but it present in the stomach portion. See, these are the gastric glands. So this side, gastric glands also have 3 types of gastric glands. First type is first portion of the stomach. See here, what is the stomach portion, how it will be. So it contains this J shaped structure. This portion will be fundus, cardiac and then pyloric part. So based on the location, this glands also known as fundic glands, cardiac glands, pyloric glands. Okay, fundic glands, cardiac glands and pyloric glands. So this cardiac glands and pyloric glands both releases mucus. cardiac glands and pylori glands releases the mucus. And fundic, see fundic contains 3 types of cells. Fundic glands contains 3 types of cells. One is mucous neck cells, 3 types of cells, mucous neck cells. So in the name only it is there, it is responsible for the secretion of the mucus. And then so peptic cells, so it contains the peptic cells. Peptic cells releases the pepsinogen and prorenin. Pepsinogen and prorenin. Pepsinogen is responsible for protein digestion and prorenin is responsible for digesting the milk protein. Okay, milk protein, renin, milk protein, prorenin. So mucous neck cells releases mucus, and then peptic cells releases pepsinogen and prorenin. And then here we have auxintic cells. Auxintic cells means auxintic cells which releases hydrochloric acid. Very important, hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is responsible to kill the harmful microorganisms, and at the same time it is activating the enzymes. HCl is very, very important for activating the enzymes. Then Castle's intrinsic factor. Castle's intrinsic factor here, Castle's intrinsic factor is responsible for absorption of the vitamin B12. Absorption of the vitamin B12. Okay. So gastric glands once again. So 3 types of gastric glands are present. One is fundic glands, another one is the cardiac glands, and the last one is the pylori glands. So fundic glands contains 3 types of cells: mucous neck cells, peptic cells, auxintic cells. Mucous neck cells releases mucus and peptic cells releases pepsinogen for protein digestion, prorenin for the milk protein, renin. And then auxintic cells releases hydrochloric acid, Castle's intrinsic factor. Hydrochloric acid to kill the microorganisms, and Castle's intrinsic factor is responsible for absorption and synthesis of vitamin B12. Why? Because vitamins we can't able to take directly, so here these factors are helping to synthesize that particular vitamins. So vitamin B12 is going to be synthesized with the help of the Castle's intrinsic factor secreted by the auxintic cells. Remember this point, auxintic cells. So together secretions of these all glands, so cardiac, pyloric, fundic secretions together we say that as gastric juice. Okay, gastric juice, annitni kalipi gastric juice antunnam. What is the pH of gastric here? 0.9 to 1.8. 0.92 average, 0.9 to 1.8. Why? Because it is acidic. See, hydrochloric acid is mixing with the food, so automatically it will be acidic. So acidic substances. So that is about the gastric glands. Clear? Right. So now we completed gastric glands also. Gastric glands. After that we are entering into the intestinal glands. Okay. So intestinal glands. Intestinal glands means which is present in the intestinal walls. Intestinal walls. Intestinal walls contains the glands are known as intestinal glands. So what are the 2 types of glands are present in the intestinal region? One is Brunner's glands, another one is the crypt of Lieberkühn. Okay, crypt of Lieberkühn. Brunner's glands are present, so it secretes present in the goblet cells, which is secreting the mucus, So goblet, here we have important point here, unicellular endocrine glands. Unicellular glands. So goblet cells are unicellular, means it is made up of single cell. It secretes the mucus. And then crypts of Lieberkühn. So where is this crypts of Lieberkühn is present? It is present in the basis of villi. For example, if it is a villi structures, definitely at the basis of the villi. So it contains in the basis of the villi. So this in the basis of villi, it contains the crypts of Lieberkühn. And this crypt of Lieberkühn is going to releases the secretions together, is known as intestinal juice, also known as succus entericus. Succus entericus, very important, succus entericus, intestinal juice also known as succus entericus. So which is secreted by the crypts of Lieberkühn. So and what are the enzymes are released by the crypts of Lieberkühn? See here. So aminopeptidase, dipeptidase, nucleotidase, nucleosidase, lipase, lysozyme, and also it contains maltase, sucrase, means Here these all enzymes are responsible for the carbohydrate digestion. See, maltase responsible for maltose breakdown, sucrase responsible for sucrose breakdown into glucose molecules, and then aminopeptidase, proteins are converted into peptides, and then dipeptidase, nucleotidase, means here nucleotides also break down into nucleosides. After that, nucleosides also break down into sugar and phosphate molecules. Okay, this all will come in the mechanism of digestion part. So only I am saying here enzymes. What are the enzymes secreted by the glands? Okay, so enzymes once again: maltase, sucrase, aminopeptidase, dipeptidase, nucleotidase, nucleosidase, and lipase, lysozyme is responsible to kill the harmful microorganisms present in the food, and along with that it also contains the Paneth cell. It also contains the Paneth cell. It is responsible for the protection. It is responsible for the protection. Paneth cell. Remember this point. Paneth cell. Which cells are responsible for the protection in the intestinal juice or intestinal glands? Paneth cells are responsible for the protection. This is about the intestinal glands. Okay, next we will go to the pancreas. Okay, take the screenshot. Intestinal glands. So intestinal glands, Brunner's glands. Where is this Brunner's glands are present? So this Brunner's glands are present in the submucosa of the duodenum. Submucosa of duodenum contains the Brunner's glands, and which contains the goblet cells. They secrete the mucus. Okay, that is about the intestinal glands. Next we'll see the pancreas part. Okay, pancreas. Right. So one by one we are covering everything. So pancreas. See here all of you, pancreas. So pancreas is present in this loop of duodenum. This loop of the duodenum portion. This leaf-like structure is known as pancreas. See, pancreas is divided into three parts. Pancreas is divided into three parts: head, neck, and tail. Head, neck, and tail. So even tail also with broad end. Broad end tail we can see in the pancreas. See, this is broad end tail. Okay, so pancreas is a mixed gland. It performs two functions: exocrine functions and endocrine functions. Exocrine functions and endocrine functions are performed by the pancreas. That's why it is also known as mixed gland. It is also known as mixed gland. After that, so this pancreas also contains special cells. What are the special cells? Islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans are present in the pancreas. Islets of Langerhans are present in the pancreas, and here it contains two functions. So endocrine function and exocrine function. See, exocrine gland of pancreas, exocrine part of the pancreas is acini. So here acini are the ovule shaped structures which is responsible for exocrine function. So what are the enzymes are released by the pancreas? See here, sodium bicarbonate to reduce the acidic levels of the stomach. So here gastric juice contains more acidic because of the presence of hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid mix అయింది కాబట్టి ఎక్కువ acidic ఉంటుంది. సో ఎక్కువ acidic ఉన్నప్పుడు intestinal walls rupture అయ్యే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది. intestinal walls డ్యామేజ్ అయ్యే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది కాబట్టి సో అసిడిటీని తగ్గించాలంటే డెఫినెట్లీ వీ రిక్వైర్ సోడియం బైకార్బోనేట్ టు న్యూట్రలైజ్ ద acidity. So acidic nature in the food. So it is responsible for neutralization. It is responsible for neutralizing the food. And then trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, carboxypeptidase, pancreatic amylase, pancreatic lipase, like that many enzymes are released by the pancreas. See, trypsinogen and chymotrypsinogen is responsible for protein breakdown. Proteins are going to be breakdown into peptides. So then endocrine function, see here in the islets of Langerhans it contains two types of cells, alpha cells and beta cells. Okay, this alpha cells and beta cells secretes insulin and glucagon. It will control the sugar levels in the body. If the sugar levels increased in the body, insulin releases and it controls the sugar levels, and at the same time if the glucose levels decreased in the body, glucagon releases and it increases the sugar levels in the blood. Like this, pancreas plays very important role in our body. So once again, so pancreas is also known as mixed gland, and it contains three parts: head, neck and tail. So tail is broad end portion. So inside the pancreas it contains a pancreatic duct in the middle. See the black color one, this pancreatic duct. Okay, this pancreatic duct is connected with the common bile duct of the liver. So here we have the point, see this side I am writing. So pancreatic duct, it combines with the common bile duct, so together it forms as what? Ampulla of water. Very important point. Here we may get the Neet question. So ampulla of water is nothing but pancreatic duct. It joins with the common bile duct of the liver and it forms as the ampulla of water, and this ampulla of water is going to be opens into the duodenum part. So this, in this opening of this duodenum part, contains what? It contains the sphincter of Oddi. So this sphincter of Oddi is responsible to regulate the juices from the pancreas and the bile. Okay, so sphincter of Oddi is responsible to regulate the pancreatic and bile juices. Okay, so very important point here. Pancreas contains the pancreatic duct that combines with the common bile duct of the liver, and it forms as an ampulla of water. It opens into the duodenum. It opens into the duodenum part. This opening of the duodenum contains the sphincter of Oddi, which is regulating the flow of the pancreatic and bile juices into the duodenum portion. See here, this is the common bile duct. See this one, this portion is known as the gallbladder. Duct of green color will be duct of gallbladder. So this duct of gallbladder, so this along with the duct of liver, so together it forms as the common bile duct. So this one will be the common bile duct. This common bile duct is combines with the pancreatic duct. Together it forms as ampulla of water, and then that is about the pancreas. Now we'll see, take the screenshot all of you. Now we are going to see the largest gland, that is liver. Okay, largest gland. Okay, see, now you won't get confused anything. See clearly, only liver we are covering now. So only liver. So liver is the largest gland. It weighs about 1.2 to 1.5 kg. So 1.2 to 1.5 kg, and it is reddish brown in color. And it contains two lobes. See, for example, if it is a liver, so it contains the two lobes. One is small, bigger one, another one is the smaller one. Two lobes it contains. Inside the liver, it contains many hepatic lobules. See this hepatic lobules. So what is the shape of a hepatic lobule? Here hexagonal hepatic lobules are present in the liver, and these hepatic lobules are the, see, hepatic lobules are the functional units of the liver. Hepatic lobule is functional unit of liver. Very important point. Functional. What is the functional unit of liver? So hepatic lobule. Like that we have many functional units, like nephron is the functional unit of kidney. Okay, so nephron is the functional unit of the kidney. Cell is the functional unit of the body of an organism, like that. So functional units also very important. So these are the hexagonal hepatic lobules. So after that, so here Once observe this diagram, between the hepatic lobules you can see the rod like structures. This black color cells are nothing but hepatocytes, liver cells. Liver cells also have common name, that is liver cell is a common name and scientific name will be the hepatocytes. This all hepatocytes arranged in a cord like manner, rod laga arranged in a cord like manner is nothing but it's a rod shaped structures. So this in between these rods, so what we call this hepatic terminal, and between this hepatic cords, in between the hepatic cords it contains the sinusoids. The blue color one is nothing but sinusoids, contains the sinusoids. Okay, this all sinusoids are going to opens into the central vein. The middle one is known as central vein. Okay, so hexagonal hepatic lobules. So this hepatic lobules contains all the liver cells are arranged in the form of a cord like manner, that is known as hepatic cords. And in these all hepatic cords are going to be separated by the sinusoids. So these sinusoids all are opening into the central vein. And then in this hepatic cords, if you observe the sinusoid structures lo మనం చూస్తే branch of hepatic vein కనిపిస్తుంది. So these all are going to be connected with the branch of hepatic vein and branch of hepatic arteries. Branch of hepatic arteries also we can able to see here. And then bile, so here once see again we are coming back to the tubes. So bile duct is nothing but liver duct, which is coming from the liver, and it is going to be joins with the gallbladder duct. Gallbladder duct also known as cystic duct. Gallbladder duct, it is also known as cystic duct. It combines with the bile duct and it forms as a common bile duct. Okay, common bile duct. So this forms as a common bile duct. This common bile duct is going to be connected with the pancreatic duct, and along with the pancreatic duct it opens into the duodenum. So now, so liver secreting, what are the liver secretions? It secretes bile juice. And it does not contain enzymes. No enzymes are present here. So liver bile juice contains, what are the bile juice secretions? Bile juice is composed of what? So first one is bile salts, next bile pigments. Okay, so next excess water, pigments, and the electrolytes. What are the electrolytes? We'll see now. So pigments, so once see here bile salts. So bile salts, water, lecithin, bile pigments and cholesterol. These are the components are present in the bile, and pH of the bile will be 7.8. pH of the bile is 7.8. So composition you have to remember bile salts. What are the bile salts? Tarocholates of sodium and potassium. Tarocholates of sodium and potassium are bile salts. And bile pigments are, what are bile pigments? Bile pigments are bilirubin and biliverdin. Bilirubin and biliverdin. Okay, these are the two bile pigments. Okay, so these functions. So what are the functions of liver? And one more point here, the sinusoids, between the sinusoids contains the special cells are known as Kupffer cells. It contains the Kupffer cells. Kupffer cells are responsible for phagocytic function, means to kill the harmful microorganisms present in the body and food. Okay, so functions, if you see, mainly mainly 4 functions. It is responsible for carbohydrate metabolism, lipid metabolism, protein metabolism, detoxification, okay, detoxification, and it acts as a thermoregulatory organ, means not shivering organ. So carbohydrate metabolism means 2 functions. One is gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis means new glucose molecules are going to be formed from the breakdown of the glycogen. Means when it happens, when the glucose levels decreases in the blood. When glucose levels decreases in the blood, glycogen is going to be break down and it releases the glucose molecules. After that, glycogenesis, 2 processes, gluconeogenesis and then glycogenesis. Glycogenesis means if more sugar molecules are present in the blood, so those sugar molecules or the glucose molecules are going to be converted into glycogen, and that process is known as glycogenesis. And then lipid metabolism. Lipids are going to be produced in the form of triglycerides. Triglycerides production also done by the liver. The triglycerides formation kuda liver lone jarutundi. Next, protein metabolism. Protein metabolism daggara okati gurtu pettukondi. Proteins are made up of amino acids, right? Proteins are made up of amino acids. From this amino acids, so this amino group is going to be removed. Okay, so what we call that process? Deamination. We call that process as a deamination process. After deamination, what is going to form? It forms as a urea. So this entire process is known as Ornithine Cycle. Ornithine Cycle. In this Ornithine Cycle, what happens? Urea formation takes place. The amino group is going to be removed by the deamination process, and finally it forms as a urea, and also it performs Cori cycle. Cori cycle means what here? Cori cycle means glucose is converted into pyruvic acids. Pyruvic acid in the absence of oxygen. If the oxygen is very less in the body, then the glucose molecules undergoes into the anaerobic respiration, and those glucose molecules are converted into pyruvic acid molecules, and it releases the energy. So even in the Cori cycle also it plays very, very important role. And another one here, detoxification, means it removes the toxic substances present in the fluids, especially alcoholic persons. So it is going to reduce the toxic effect of the alcohol. So maximum people who consumes alcohol, they are going to face the problem of cirrhosis. The problem is about cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is the liver disease. So by the alcohol consumption, and sometimes liver cancers also occurs. Liver cancers are going to be caused by the aflatoxins. Aflatoxins are the substances which causes liver cancer. Okay, so these aflatoxins are secreted by the fungus. That fungus name is Aspergillus flavus. Very, very important point. We can expect the Neet questions from this topic. So okay, liver cancer also caused by aflatoxins. It is by the fungus Aspergillus flavus. And the last one is thermoregulatory organ and hemopoietic organ. Hemopoietic organ means it is responsible for production of RBC. RBC is going to be produced, and also finally it is synthesizing the clotting factors and plasma proteins. It synthesizes the plasma proteins. What are the plasma proteins? Albulins and globulins. Albulins and globulins are the plasma proteins, and clotting factors are fibrinogen and prothrombin. You know this. Fibrinogen and prothrombin is responsible for clotting in the body. Means whenever we face the injuries, during that time the blood is going to be clot with the help of this fibrinogen and prothrombin clotting factors. See, this liver plays very, very important in our body. So that's why, so go through the entire topic. So I hope you all understand the video. So if you have any doubts, comment in the comment sections. But if you like the session, definitely give me the like and share and subscribe to my channel. So thanks for watching. So keep watching my channel.